Hey, it's Dr. Deal with 5 reasons why too much of anything is bad for us mentally and physically, or both. And so, life, I always tell people life is about balance. Everything should be balanced. If you're doing too much of one thing, it's going to start to impact you probably in a negative way because it needs to be balanced. And that leads me to number one, eating and drinking. You know, if we eat too much junk food or we drink too much alcohol, then it's going to impact our physical bodies. And so we have to learn to balance those things out, which can be tricky because sometimes we're not paying attention to, we're eating too many Oreos or we're drinking too much wine. And so we sometimes get lost in that, but it's all about balance. And that leads me to number two, taking in too much negative conversation, being around, negative conversations where everybody, all they do is complain. And too much of that, to me, it starts to impact you mentally. Like you start to take on some of those characteristics. Next thing you know, you're complaining about everything because you're listening to Tom or Suzanne over there complaining every day. And that leads me to number three, being overly religious. And what I mean by that is it needs to be a balance with religion. Every word that comes out of your mouth should not be religion. You have other interests. And I feel like too much of that, you start to lose yourself. You start to not be able to, and this is my opinion, I feel like you start to lose like reality because you're so focused into the religious aspect of everything. And again, too much of anything is not good. It should be balanced. And that leads me to number four, always around negative people with bad energy. I say some of that stuff starts to rub off on you. And next thing you know, you're negative. And that leads me to number five, is too much exercise. Too much exercise can actually hurt you physically if you're constantly over-exercising. And so just remember, life is all about balance. If you're struggling with learning how to keep things balanced, please seek a therapist or a life coach so they can help you maneuver through finding balance in your life.